Hello, Scorpio. What an exciting reading we have. So, I'm going to read from this book. And one of the spirit animals that I got for you guys was shark. But the message here says, you're especially sensitive right now. Okay, so that means do not make any quick decisions or don't take anything too serious. Somebody says something, just, let it go. Okay. So be careful what environments and situations you expose yourself to. Allow yourself to swim through your emotions fluidly so as not to get stuck in any one feeling. You're very well protected and can ward off any threats, negativity, or psychic attacks. Notice how your mood shifts depending on what you've eaten. So I feel like a lot of you need to shift like the things that you're putting into your body. This doesn't just have to do with food. This can also do with the things that like we're consuming. So if we're consuming like, too much alcohol, too much, maybe weed or like other drugs or maybe psychedelics, like, we need to tone it down, okay? And if necessary, modify your eating habits to maintain your physical and emotional equilibrium. Maintain your dignity and self-respect no matter who or what you encounter. You'll notice a heightened ability for discernment and discrimination, sorting out what's right and what's not for yourself. Let your inner feelings, not your external influences, dictate your eating habits, okay? So, for some of you, you're going to be changing your eating habits, okay? And I'm really feeling like this is a moment of detox, okay? Because Scorpio, in 2026, you enter your spirituality season. You enter into an era of healing, grounding, embracing spirituality like you never have before. Right now, the High Priestess shows up, and this is your incubation period. So I'm recording this reading after the winter solstice. So this tells me that it's still not time to emerge. There's still so much to learn. There's still so much to heal right now. There's still so much to be honest within the self, okay? And to really start going after, doing that shadow work. There's a lot of healing that needs to transpire in order for things to shift. I really feel strongly, Scorpio, looking at these cards, that by the end of 2026, you should have the results that you're looking for. Right now is a time to accept and embrace your spirituality and your incubation period. Like, you really drawing back. Sometimes this might be in the form of like, I know we're coming around the corner on the holidays. So sometimes this might have to do with like, you might partake, but you don't stay too long. You might partake, but you're not going to drink and, do all the crazy stuff, right? Or you might, not want to indulge so much into the food that, because it seems like, every holiday, right? We're just like, oh, the food, the desserts and all that stuff, right? So I really feel that, this is asking you to redefine yourself, to really like see what works for you in this incubation period, okay? 2026 is going to be your year of spirituality. So we have here Eight of Wands. My witch, let me see here. We just named her Ruth, so she's always messing with the light here. Eight of Wands, Five of Pentacles. Boy, oh boy, Scorpio, has it been a fucking year? Okay. Has it been a year? 2025 was, a lot of ups and downs here because the Eight of Wands and the Five of Pentacles, that Eight of Wands is that rapid movement. So that's like, sometimes we get up and then all of a sudden we fall back down. Then we get back up and then we fall back down. It's like situation after situation, because we were not, Scorpio, being honest and truthful with ourselves. The message all along was to embrace your spiritual side, to, allow pretty much God to come through, for the energies to, to accept and embrace this beautiful help from spirit. Let me hide this because I know there's a thing with YouTube right now. And the Lovers being here, This just tells me that, this is where you are being led currently, which leads to your 10 of Cups. This is fulfillment within yourself. Okay, this is true happiness. This is abundance. This is where you end in 2026. But the Lovers tells me too, because this is two. Okay, so the Lovers was simply saying with the Ace of Swords, you can't have both. You can't indulge here and be all doing, bringing all that baggage and doing all those things. Remember those things that you need to modify and have this this happy ending here, this spiritual component. Like you needed to let go, you need to cut ties with this and also begin to do the work. Okay, and the work is now about honesty and honesty within yourself. Okay, judgment here tells me that yes, you are going to be having to face yourself, and also sometimes this can come in the form of like, I'm not saying that you have to apologize to people, but I am saying that you do have to apologize. Maybe you say, God, forgive me for doing this to this person, right? And that's enough. That's justifiable enough, because that's between you and the Creator and your angels and your spirit guides and so on and so forth, right? And once all of this starts to happen, once you start to face yourself, because Scorpio, there is a lot here that you have been through. Just with the Lovers alone, that tells me that's like relationships have always been a doozy. And also 10 of Cups being here, this could be associated with like friends, family, children. That has also been a very touchy emotional part for you as well. So there needs to be just like this analysis that needs to take place in your life, but not just like, oh, I see that, right? Because you've been seeing it. It's not like you don't see it. Now it's just about putting forth the effort in terms of healing and really accepting that. But you're not going to see this or really formulate this plan unless you go into that incubation period. Okay, so you do need to withdraw. You do need to say no to certain things. Like if maybe like, let's say New Year's is coming up and they're like, hey, let's go out, let's go, let's go do this, let's go do that. I'm feeling strongly that the message here is like, stay in, don't go out, do something that's going to be really healthy for you so that, you can be in your clear mind, because this is going to set the pace for 2026 moving forward. Okay. Now we have here the Chariot. Okay. There's a lot of self-esteem issues here with the 8 of Swords being in the reverse. I don't like seeing this, especially when it's above the Ace of Swords. This tells me that sometimes like, you talk yourself out of certain situations before it even comes about. Or maybe sometimes you think you have the answer, and it's like, no, you don't have the answer, because the High Priestess is not like, I have the answers. You know what I mean? It's like, Scorpio, you're saying like, oh, I know it all, right? And it's like, no, nobody knows it all. Not even me. You know what I mean? And so there seems to be like a lot of self-esteem issues, and it's like, those are things that we need to start addressing. And I feel with the Ace of Swords and the 8 of Swords in the reverse, in 2026, this is when these things begin to shift. This mindset of like, possible victim mentality, or possible like, maybe I'm not good enough. That's what I'm feeling like. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't have this, or maybe I don't have that. Like, no, that lack mindset, that's going to shift from you in 2026. And the Chariot tells me that this is when you begin to take control of your life and you assess everything, and you're saying like, you know what? No, I'm going after this because I realize that this is for me. I'm worthy. I love myself, and I'm going to move forward. Okay. Now with the Queen of Pentacles being here, this tells me too that this is a time to nurture yourself in 2026. So along with the spirituality, right, comes with like, the meditation, moments of silence, Reiki, doing any type of form of spiritual therapy that will be good for you. This will be very healing and very therapeutic. I also see that you're going to fall into some abundance here. So this is going to be very good for you in 2026. Okay. And when I see the Chariot and the Queen of Pentacles, because Queen of Pentacles is always about the home. So some of you could be relocating or, you know, getting a home, okay, or maybe an apartment, whatever it is that, you know, you need in order to, you know, cultivate this magic here. Because I see how you end in 2026 with the Death and the King of Pentacles, which is like we go from the Queen to the King now. And the King, he's all about wise investments. He knows his worth. He knows, you know, when to make a move. And also this tells me that this is like you now secure something that, you know, because you got rid of that lack mentality, because you got rid of those, you know, negative thoughts, and because you surrendered to spirit ultimately, now you get to embrace something new that you thought like that was never meant for you, but it's meant for you, okay? And so now you fall into like this area of stability into your life where you could also invest in not only like yourself, but also have like other investments. Okay, so this tells me that, you know, you could be cultivating something big in terms of like a business or maybe you go in with somebody like a partner, and you know this just grows into something, but it's like it's done it's done the right way. Because the King of Pentacles, he's no fool. He's no fool. He's like, nope. I've learned a lot, you know, when it comes to financial lessons, you know, in terms of like how things break down. He's very wise. So this tells me that, excuse me, that the deal that you're going to make or the move that you're going to make is going to be the right one. Okay. The fact that I'm like kind of, you know, like choking or whatever tells me too that you also need to start speaking up for yourself. And I feel strongly that like maybe you shy away from like heavy like things, like maybe you don't want to speak or you don't want to say something, but spirit is saying like you need to start speaking up and maybe like just you know, owning your emotions here. Like it's okay to express these moments of vulnerability. It's okay to be you know, to feel safe. And so I feel like with the Queen of Pentacles and the High Priestess, you're going to attract people who make you feel safe in terms of like, you know, the emotional aspect, to say like, this is how I'm feeling, and you're going to be validated and also understood. And, you know, I also feel that people, you know, you're going to have the right people in your corner moving forward. And, you know, you end 2026 very spiritually stable, very financially stable. I'm telling you, towards the end, but you have to surrender right now. There's no other choice. You have to surrender right now. You have to learn how to say no. You have to learn how to modify those things that no longer serve you, because you cannot bring them into 2026. If you do, it's going to be the same, you know, the same shit show in terms of the universe hitting you upside the head saying, hey, we got to get rid of it. Hey, this no longer works. Hey, this is what you're thinking. This is what you're doing. It's no longer working. And that's just simply, you know, that little nudge that spirit is sending you in order to, you know, get you to the next step in your life. Okay, so that was your reading, Scorpio. Thanks for watching.